The definition of autonomy is self-governance, and so it means to follow your own rules of your own morality instead of external desires or laws based on society. So when it comes to sports, there are athletes who choose at different points in their career to exercise their own autonomy. Most of the time, you're not going to do it as a rookie. You're going to do it as a veteran, and you want to have at least some type of cachet or some type of high net worth to do this, because you have to have a lot of career earnings, or be a top percentile athlete in earning in order to do things like this. Try to get a bigger contract. So these are four different types of autonomy being used by four different types of people: two basketball, two football, and basketball players have more autonomy than football players, just based off of contracts and money. But let's start it off. So we're gonna talk about James Harden. James Harden is choosing to exercise his autonomy right now because that he could get his guaranteed money, his 30 something million, or even if he sits out or half assed it, at least get about 15 to 20. Plus, he already made more than $250 million in career earnings. So he could pull this type of stunt and still get paid. So let's not act like James Harden ain't do this before. James Harden will show up and give you 10 points and about 15 assists and say he did his job. The CBA, how it's set up, is you can't prove he not playing. If he show up and play and he leads the league in assists and he can show you he not dunking because that's just not what he do, and his three is not falling, you can't find him. So he could play 50% and get his whole check. So he could pull a stunt and have his own autonomy. And let's not act again like this man ain't got no history and not want his money. He want his money. He opted in because that's a guaranteed check. Now he could went to free agency and got tried. And I ain't saying nobody would try him with an $18 million deal, but he wasn't guaranteed no $100 million deal if he went into free agency based off of how he ended the season last year. I don't think nobody would try him, but he took his guaranteed bag that was there and still gonna make a run for some more money because he could do that because that's how everything's set up. And that's James Harden. He got his cachet. He could do that. So he chooses to exercise his own autonomy. I could say I don't mess with Daryl Morey publicly, blatantly, because that's him. He could do that. Y'all can't tell him what he can or can't do. Y'all can't find him. But you don't care. He rich. Again, you gotta have cachet and a certain amount of money. Cause don't think if this man had only $1 million, he would be doing this. This man got over $100 million easy, so he could show himself. You can't. You gotta. If you could, everybody got their own autonomy, but not everybody gonna exercise it. You gotta have a certain amount of money to do that. Then let's talk about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is a foreigner, so he come. So how he did his, was looking kind of different. That's like, oh, why he wasn't straight up, why he wasn't blatant, why he this that third. Ben Simmons not old. He relatively young. He younger than 30. So like he a different generation, but he's still contemporary. And then again, he a foreigner. He know what money is. He was getting his check. So he said, I'm gonna show up, then not show up, then say I'm hurt, then say it's mental, He was it's just like a contemporary American jet. Pull out a bunch of excuses and still want his money. And then he got his money. And now he kind of half-assing it. But he gonna get his money because, Ben Simmons got his autonomy. Now he could work on himself and get better. And probably guarantee himself another 30 to $100 million. Or he could drag himself and still get paid. Because, that's his own decision. Like, you gotta want more for yourself in order to be better. But Ben Simmons got bread already. So his autonomy could let him be lazy and not live up to his potential. And then he gonna be stagnant. Forever scared to shoot threes. But gonna know he still got over 150 million. Now he could probably have made up to 260, 300 million if he work on himself. But he's still like 6'10. So he don't even care. He guaranteed at least another $5-10 million. Easy. Easy. So his autonomy, let him be lazy and be an underachiever. It's sad. But he could do that and still play with franchises and still get paid. So that's his autonomy. That's why Joel Embiid said what he said about Ben Simmons, because he seen that. He peaked. At first I felt bad for Ben Simmons, but now Joel Embiid peaked. He peaked, bro. Like, oh, I could half-ass it and be like, I ain't gonna live up to my full potential, still get checked. Well, I'm gonna keep facilitating but taking up space. And then, bro, like, I'm trying to work on myself and shoot threes, and you just here for a check, stunting my growth. So, yeah, I see it. But let's get to football. So, LeVeon Bell chose to exercise his autonomy, and rightfully so. He got paid for the franchise tag, so he definitely had over about 14, 15 million. So I could see why he was like, I could bump that. I want a big contract. I sit out. But even he said himself, that was kind of, misguided, because that's still like $14 million he left on the table. But he still had his autonomy. And he was felt like they were doing him wrong. Now he wasn't Christian McCaffrey, but he almost did have 1,000 receiving and 1,000 rushing yards. The man was good for over 2,000 all-purpose yards. The man could, if he wanted to, give you about 700-800 receiving yards at receiver. And Antonio Brown was still giving you over 1,000 receiving yards. So I feel it. And then it's how the contract set up. Pittsburgh say, unless you're a quarterback, only your first year guaranteed. We don't care. And so, yeah, like, I'm doing all this. You ain't really working for me. Y'all ain't really gonna make an exception for me. Y'all gonna stand on it. I can see why his autonomy said, I can sit out. I'm rich. Why blow out my ACL, I get hurt, and then I get bad. I want to have guaranteed money. You know, same way Debo Samuel felt. Same way probably Alvin Kamara felt. You doing all this work. That's how Saquon Barkley felt. Josh Jacobs. All of them. They got to receive it and run it. Between the tackles too, north south. You damn sure can tell your ACL. But But yeah, L Bell's the only one who said I ain't gonna play. I'm rich. Yeah. He kinda messed that up. That's the autonomy. And like you said, it was misguided. No more misguided than anything. Then last person we gonna talk about is Antonio Brown. Now this man knows what autonomy is. He has his son named Autonomy. I think that's his son. It could be a daughter, but I think that's his son name. The man will admit to being poor. The man was a sixth round draft pick, ain't really make no money, so he was kind of being cool and under the radar. You gave this man money when he signed that extension for like 6 years, 64 million, and I guaranteed him 16, 17 million. Showed his ass. Now, mind you, he told you I only plan for guaranteed money and trade me because he wanted money. He hit over that threshold, that 12 to $14 million threshold. Well, you can then show yourself and say, I want more money, I'm holding out. Because when you make over 12 to $15 million in career earnings, you could afford to say, I'm going to pull a all or nothing stunt and try to stick the franchise up or stick the league up for more money. It probably won't work, but if it do work, you guarantee yourself way, way, way more family career earnings. And after 12 to $15 million, your family kind of set anyway. So you could, take that liability stunt. Because if you could go from $10 million annually to $15 million, $18 million annually, you do that. Look at Kyrie. Kyrie could have opted into Cleveland for $18 million. He left that money. He ain't signed with Cleveland and then hold him up for a trade. He left Cleveland and that money. Went free agency. Well, kind of went to Boston. Did his thing there, got some money from them. And then he went to Brooklyn. And when he was making 30 something million, that's double pretty much what they was giving at Cleveland about a year or two ago. So you ain't got to sign with the franchise and hold them up for money. It's more so you gotta know you got career earnings already. And cachet to say, want that money, I want more money. I'm done this for myself and my family. And that'll be a justification to dig your heels in and justify anything. Cause you're rich. Not really a productive or team friendly mindset, mind you. But when you have a certain amount of money, you can be greedy, selfish, and exercise your own autonomy to hold a franchise or people up for more money. I say that to say, look at boxing, look at fight promotions in general. Hell, you can look at a quarterback in the league. Any one person could say, I know $100 million gonna be made. I need at least 40% of that, and hold up the whole event till they get their money. They don't want to even split. It's whoever got the cachet get to do whatever they want. What's up? But that's the meaning of how you own autonomy. Yeah. So yeah. So you'll see in some sports, once athletes hit a certain threshold of career earnings, they'll exercise the rights to say, I'm rich and I'm gonna play hardball until you give me more money. And that's pretty much how athletes using their autonomy will manifest. Have a great day.